What's up, people? One Nut Punch here. It's that time again for the SCP Foundation to get a new update for SCP-5K. Came out with two new guns, the Smith & Wesson 500, which I was only able to use in the, I think, weapons testing mode, and then the SG553, which looks like a 5.52 Commando. But I wanted to show these off because, again, it's the start of the video. New SCP Update 14 came out May 15, 2024 as of today, and I'm going to talk about it. But the first thing is that I streamed it a little bit earlier. I went for about maybe 7 hours, and I had the developer, quote-unquote, come into my Twitch channel and tell me how to play the game, and tell me how to go in the journal and some other stuff. To the developer, if you're watching this, hey, I do apologize, but again, how am I supposed to know you're a developer when you don't have your literal badge on Twitch that says developer on it? It would be a lot easier, you know. But the SG553, you also have the burst, single fire or semi-automatic, and then fully automatic modes, as well as the Smith & Wesson 500 having a short and long barrel version that you can mess with. The SG553 has 4 different variants, and I don't know really the differences in between them, but I'll let people know as time goes on. The first thing I wanted to show you is the new mode for the wave survival called Antarctica. This is a new wave survival mode compared to the original, which was you go into a room and you're stuck in these garages and you're shooting wave upon wave upon wave of enemies coming after you until you hit 100 or beyond. Now they're going through this like snowy abandoned research base. You find a gate key on this person's dead corpse, which will allow you to go and open up a gate. And you could also press on these buttons and they'll tell you what's going on, what their like project is, how the events and updates will come on, which supposedly this one will have DLCs that come out when people want to play more and try different content for patches that come out later. The other thing is that when you actually play Antarctica, you're put into this like village outpost area, and you have to go and talk to some people, or not talk to some people, go and find some corpses of evidence, turn on power so you can get on to the computer that has the stuff there, and then you have the zombies coming after you. The difference between Wave Survival, the original, and Wave Survival now is that Wave Survival in this one is that it's more spooky and gives you more paranoia. The thing is that it's not only super snowy outside, but you can barely see shit. And then you have these tables that have gasoline canisters that have to go to a generator that you can turn on. Then you have the ammunition and medic to heal yourself if you take too much damage. They have other buildings you can go into too, but mainly it's trying to get to these different objectives while you're being chased, kind of like Axiom Hunt or Axiom Outpost to some extent, just a different game mode. And I wanted to show this up because this was actually pretty fun for a while. I got on maybe 3 or 4 times, and it's not a live-based game, meaning that you don't like die and keep respawning over and over and over again. It's like kind of like Area 12 to where you have like 3 or 4 lives. This one, you die, that's it, it's done. Unless it's like a custom type of change that somebody has to do when they make the game. The other thing I wanted to touch up on is when you shoot them, the zombies, the D-Class, or the guard, they'll have like the blood splatter effect, and a lot of the dismemberment will happen too. So like their arms will blow off, their heads will explode, and same thing with the D-Class personnel. If you shoot them in the head, their head will go off, or they'll have like a visor left. And it's a really nice touch when you shoot them with the gun because it makes it feel better. That's what I was hoping for compared to just spraying them down and then maybe their head would pop or their body would just give out, whichever. Or now it's actually like every single hit you do is heavy, bullets will splatter, blood will hit the ground, and even sometimes if you dismember them, it'll have a blood fountain pop up from their arms or their hands or maybe even their body itself or head. It really depends upon where you shoot them at. So, for example, if I shoot them in the body, it'll be like bullet splatter and mostly just bullet holes inside them. Now, when we get into Area 12, there is a new chapter called Chapter 3, and this is completely different from the Antarctica Wave Survival mode that they have. In this one, you have this new area, which is like this plant creature, which you're going to see a lot of the rod-spitting flowers here pretty soon. Essentially, the gimmick is that you have to go and find these flowers that's like a blue orb. When you shoot them, those flowers will close up and the blue orb will go to another flower. When you shoot that flower to a specific point, this blue massive type of bulging thing, you have to shoot at it again for a second time, it'll blow up, and that'll open up a new area. You have to do this 3 times in 3 different areas, from the west wing, east wing, and then I think in the central wing as well. And then when you do all that, then you can go to the management dorms, and after you get a code from one of four, like, I guess, like, it's suites or rooms that have, like, bedrooms and TVs. Once you get that code, you can go to the management dorms, open up the doorway from there, and then continue on as time goes on from Area 12 into Chapter 3. The entire objective really is to get to the elevator before finding the eyeball of a security chief, getting that, and then using that to get on top of the elevator that will reach the prison, where all the D-Class personnel are fighting against the SCP guards that are currently shooting at them and, trying to kill them all. Essentially, I wanted to show this off a little bit as to how it kind of works, what the orbs look like on the flowers. You'll normally see them on the tree branches or in the area. They don't go really anywhere else other than like the specific as to where the bulge is, the blue bulge. And then once you get them all shot up, then you can shoot the bulge again for a second time, and it'll tell you the objective is ready to go. So again, 3 times you have to do this for 3 different areas. And the other thing is that the flower that shoots you normally in the original before this update used to one-shot you. Now it's like maybe a quarter your health or half of it. It doesn't one-shot you anymore, which is a nice touch. Now, I wanted to show this off here before I forget. When you get to one of these smaller rooms, the only way to access this is by basically turning on power instead of a maintenance room. And there's multiple different ones you have to go find. And they'll show the icon of like a lightning bolt that will allow you to open up more doorways in order to access the code into the management dorm so that you can get out of here and use the elevator to go up. Once you're done with all that, you go to the management dorms, you find the code, you put in the code, and then it unlocks to go to another area to where you have to go and find a eyeball from an officer that will be sticking out of his head. He's basically dead laying on the ground, and then you just go over to where he's currently dead, press the F button where it's like eyeball is hanging out, you grab that, and that allows you to go up to the elevator. And that's pretty much how you go and find it. There's this room on the left-hand side you see here that is bloody. That's where he's at. You have to kill the SCP guards first. And the only reason why I'm not showing that off yet is because they did change the AI. Whether it comes down to the resonators, the guards themselves, or the D-Class. And they do talk now. They are highly accurate. They're still freaking lethal as shit. They run at you sometimes, or they'll back up and find cover. They improved a lot of the AI. It's a lot better than usual. Sometimes you'll get the occasional moonwalker, like when you deal with the zombies, they'll be walking backwards through a wall, or sometimes the guards will spray through the wall and hit you, taking multiple shit tons of damage. I've had that happen a couple of times, but it's not too much of an issue. And you still can pick up guns off the ground. There was an issue in Area 12 that you weren't able to pick up anything. Now hopefully that might change. Again, I wanted to show off the SCP guards versus the D-Class, and this was one of the arenas that kind of happened here. Coming down this ramp into this like garage, you'll see this fight happen, and I want people to listen to it, so let's go ahead and check it out. As you just seen there, that was an actual fight between the SCP guards and the D-Class personnel that's currently revolting against them. And when you come up more into this reactor area, you have to deal with more of the flowers. But when I did this, I didn't understand what the hell was going on at first, which I'm going to show you here. When you shoot this flower, the other thing I want to talk about here is that flower that shoots rods at you. Watch out, because even though you kill it, it will come back to life depending upon how many flowers you shoot. If that's the only one, then it'll pop up and it'll start hitting you with the rods. But this will happen. The water will start to rise continuously. I didn't know what to do. It didn't really tell me what to do. I was just like, the water's rising. I wonder if I can swim. But then when I went down underwater, I started taking tick damage. So of course you can't swim because for some reason that's just not a thing. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go back up to a elevator shaft or a staircase, and when you go up, you got to keep going all the way up to the top, knocking over all the flowers, shooting the bulges, and then being able to open up more ways so that you could find out where the originator of the plant life creature is, kill it, and then move on. I'm not really past that. This is basically the final location that I was, and when I spawned again, I spawned underwater and started taking damage again, so that also kind of sucked. At the end of the day, it's still a good update. I'd been liking it quite a bit. I put about 7-8 hours into it total so far. I mean, I was on stream for quite that long, and all I did was this. Went on and played the Antarctica mode for a couple times, and then after that, getting back on Area 12 because there's more stuff to do. It's very big. There's a lot of things to do, and note by the developer, remember to look at the journal if you want to know what the hell to do. Even though there's still bugs, there's still issues, and not everything is going to tell you what the hell to do and where to go. That being said, I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been another SCP-5K video. Thanks for watching as per usual. Thanks for the likes, checking me out and everything. And like I said, the developer, you know, I don't like being told what to do and how to play. And the other thing is, you should fix your game, because when I'm pressing the spacebar to jump, that happened. I fell right through and died. So you got a lot of stuff to do. Hope to see some more hot fixes and patch notes. And as always, I've been One Nut Punch. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later in the next one.